head, no crown, no sword, no lawn, just tired dreams and trembling hands. The world passed by, a blur, a stream. I lived inside a faded dream. My days were dust, my nights were cold, my youth had aged before it was old. I was a name no voice would call, a shadow pressed against a wall. But then that moment, brief divine, when this tiny crossed the silent line, no fanfare, loud, no tender cry, just calm like words in the sky. He came not as a prince, but flame, and with his presence spoken my name. He looked at me, and in that glance he gave my soul a second chance. When Fazza's eyes met my story, time stood still in quiet glory. He did not ask of who I was, he simply saw me without pause, not rich, not strong, not dressed in fame, yet in his gaze I felt no shame. He saw not just the dirt I wore, but what my aching heart stood for. He did not speak a thousand words, but in his silence I felt, heard. His eyes like verses, yet unsaid, they read the book I did left unread. They saw the tears I never wept, the prayers I hide, the grief I keep. They knew the nights I feared to cry, the dreams I watched in silence die. In crowded street I stood alone, but in that look I felt no, not as a beggar, not a pain, but as a soul who might remain. He passed, and yet I stood so still, as if he did not left behind his will to rise again, to walk upright, to turn my darkness into light. I have seen the scars, I have heard the praise, but none have touched me in that way. It was not gold, it was not song, it was just seeing right from wrong. When a prince sees past the road and touches gently one lost jewel, that's not just royalty in name, that is a legacy in flame. I told no one, for who did believe that Fazza's glance made me reprieve, that one brief look could held despair, could left A man